Hello everybody, this is Chilling with the Devin-Vlogs, man. That's right everybody, and I just want to say is that the good news is that the Thunder are still in the playoffs, baby. Yeah, go freaking Oklahoma Thunder of OCK. Let's freaking go. Like, please, thank God. Like, let's go Thunder. Let's go Oklahoma City Thunder. Yeah, let's go OKC. Like, let's go. And I will be honest, by the way, it's just that, man, let's go. Like, freaking yes. Like, yes, yes, yes. So, my reaction is, well, to say the freaking least exactly is like, finally, the Lakers are out of here. The Lakers are done. They're cooked. They're done. They're freaking out of here and they're sent to Cancun and eliminated once and for all. As I said again, LeBron, Mr. Jamie James didn't had a chance with the Thunder. So that's all I gotta say is good night. Good night and head on to Cancun, brother. Just head on to Cancun while Thunder wins the whole freaking damn thing, which is just like, yes, I just been waiting for the next second to hear this again. It's just that Thunder, y'all are amazing out there. Freaking crazily amazing out there. Like, hot damn. Like, good job, Thunder. Yet, by the way, I actually am proud to say is I'm just so proud to hear Thunder actually making it all the way to the second time of winning again in the playoffs in the NBA. Is just like, dude, I've been finally been waiting for this again. Entire likely last year. Which is even gonna get better by better. Which I'm just loving it. I'm just really am loving it. To be very fully honest again, I'm just really am loving it. And speaking of loving it exactly, let's just say how things are really getting interesting so far and smoothing it all out. It's just like a freaking interesting way. It's just like, yo, thank you. Just like, thank you. And yeah, so the only thing I want to kind of talk about here, of course, is that, well, I know there's like a few teams left exactly that are remain to be left, which of course is just the Knicks or whatever, because I don't know why I have to say I don't even like that name, to be honest. I mean, it's just kind of weird. Like, who puts a K next to the word Knicks? Who puts the K word next to the Knicks word? Like, who puts that there? I really don't know. But I don't know how the hell he even got in the playoffs either. But I have to say, hopefully, to be honest, by the way, I hope that either Cleveland or Detroit beat New York at this point, which I don't know how that will turn things around. But for me, by the way, it's going to be a give or take exactly just to know when that's going to happen soon. You know, it's going to depend on whatever is going to happen. But for me, I just really do hope, in a very honest opinion, very full likely on honest opinion, that I hope that Cleveland or Detroit actually beat New York Knicks. Which I'm just gonna say the word Knicks, by the way, not with a K, just with the word Knicks. That is only with the N, with the I, the C, and K. That's all I'm going to say is just that name, not the K, because at this point for me, I think it's just a hard word for me to spell it because I just didn't like that name, to be honest, which there could have been a different alternative name that they could have actually just chose, but yet they had to go on ahead and decide what the word is like Knicks, like Knicks, or whatever the hell the name even is, but good Jesus, like that name is just, I don't know why, man. I just really don't know why. And speaking about why exactly, let me just say this too exactly is I hope, to be honest, by the way, well, my only personal vote I want to actually like consider cheering on, by the way, if I had to pick which team that I would have to cheer on for that would be in the east side of that division, it probably would have been, Cleveland. It totally would be Cleveland exactly. Knicks, I mean, Cleveland Cavaliers. Sorry, meant saying Cavaliers. The the name that would probably be is the Cavaliers because, why would I root for the Cavaliers of Cleveland is because why would I root for Cleveland? The reason why I would root for Cleveland Cavaliers is because I think they might have one more win away just to eliminate the Pistons of Detroit easily again is by another landslide, by the way. Which, I know that's going to come tomorrow exactly or highly. That depends on another number of the win. But to my opinion only, I wanted to say that I think Cleveland should win. I think they should win and beat the Pistons out off the bracket because it probably would be an interesting count to know how interesting that's going to look like and how interesting it may look. But for my first time ever, I have actually want to be honest, by the way, it's like think about it for a minute. Like fully think about that for a minute is that if you have Cleveland in the stadium of the bracket, it probably would make things even more chaotically interesting to actually overthrow the Knicks. Like, if they get in there, I actually will be proud to say is like, please, oh please, do it. Please do it. Because at this point too, I have to say that honestly would be a very good pick of a wise choice of a man's wide choice exactly, which I know it seems a lesser way to kind of route for it, but I guess I'll have to say it'd totally be Cleveland. Cleveland. Sorry, it's a little hard for me to say it, but I'm just going to say Cleveland Cavaliers should definitely beat the Knicks. That's better. That's really better. Yes, so once they do beat the Pistons one more time, that's exactly why I want to see that happen and totally have the advantage point and totally will win the fourth game. So hopefully they better win. But if not, then it comes back to the same tie by making a tiebreaker and beat that exactly, which is a which is a little bit more relatable and more understandable. But it probably makes more sense as per usual that it makes sense too. So if it makes sense anyway, then hey, who am I going to stop them? Who am I going to stop them? But speaking about that too, I actually do want to make another point too. Exactly on the other side of the west side of the bracket, exactly is the Spurs and Timberwolves. So how this is going to go a little bit, I really am not there too familiarly sure to know how this is going to go down. But for me, I have to say it'd probably be the Timberwolves. Why would I say that? Well, one reason is for sure and very honestly for sure is why would I want the Timberwolves to beat the Spurs? Well, in this very different question, is like you have a different element of a question, right? Like, say this for an example. Is like, who would you want to face more differently? A giant that is known to be a huge, tall ass guy in the Spurs, or would somebody want to challenge the Timberwolves for exactly and face a different alternative route to see how that would go out for like the Timberwolves exactly? Well, my honest answer would be definitely the Timberwolves. Absolutely the Timberwolves. Is because I think the Timberwolves might have another opportunity shot to actually have one step couple of times away to get rid of the Spurs. I'm not sure how that would go down in history for this, but I think, to be fully honest, it probably would make sense. Like, you get four of those final teams being in the playoffs, which is going to be sick, which is going to be absolutely crazy and amazing-ified, which is going to be very, very well legit. So, all I want to say is, I hope, for once, by the way, I have to say is, go Cavaliers and go Timberwolves. I hope that they actually do make it to the playoffs exactly, which I know that Cleveland's going to do it otherwise and do it anyway and may win the fourth win anyway. Who knows? If they do, I'll be proud of them if they do. But if they don't, well, that's going to probably be a tie alternative to break, but that will be hard enough to break out of the way how to get out of there, but that will be possible, but we'll see what happens. The next opportunity question I'll have to give is that Timberwolves really need to break a tie to beat the Spurs again, otherwise to beat the score again. But if they don't seem to kind of do it exactly, well, I'm just going to call BS again, and I'm just going to say it's going to be bullshit because it just might sound like it again. It just may sound like that. So, That's all I wanted to say. Is my final four teams prediction choice is I would so prefer is, the Knicks, which is just ack, versus yay Cavaliers. That would be is Cleveland Cavaliers. Yep, that would be facing each other in the east side of the bracket, which I totally would love to see that exactly. And also my final choice on the west side of the conference would probably be for the finals is obviously Thunder versus Timberwolves, baby. Like seriously, it's going to be hell of amazing. And I totally would say I go for is definitely, sincerely, definitely Thunder to beat the Timberwolves of Minnesota, and of course the Cavaliers to beat the Knicks, which not sure how that will play out exactly, but I actually am making my guesses as I'm kind of working with it and making it as I go. So yes, those are my final four choices if I had to pick which teams that could be added in the final four of the freaking semifinals to do it, which is going to be awesome. It will be amazing. Once again, and truly again, to be hopefully so. So let's just hope, by the way, folks, that we get to see that correction being correct. But if that correction isn't correct, well, that's not going to be a good sign, and I might have to update it again, which sometimes I don't talk about sports much often, but I have to sometimes may get to the point of the only point to make that stand. But we'll see what happens anyway. By other reasons, that's going to either happen tomorrow, which I know the Cavaliers are going to have to probably beat the Detroit Pistons exactly one more time, and that's when they get to the playoffs once again and be safe in the semifinals. And of course, well, it's going to take another time too for the exact same question. That'll also take the same amount of the time as well for the same reason that goes to with Spurs and Timberwolves, which is going to be wild. And I hope that Timberwolves breaks the tie anyway to automatically have the tied series being tied exactly, which I hope they can break the tie for beating Spurs, because I mean, from my opinion, I don't want Spurs to be in the playoffs because, well, let's just say that Thunder's going to have a little hard time to outbeat the big guy. So I think we just have to say that we all need to have Timberwolves, honestly, to beat the Spurs anyway. So that way it probably would be even easier to do it. So let's just hope that Timberwolves do a good job. But if they don't do a good job, well, Thunder's just going to get effed, which is not going to be great. So I hope that Thunder could just challenge the Timberwolves anyway in the finals, because I want to see that happen and totally see that showdown happen with like Oklahoma versus Minnesota, which I totally would vote for definitely Oklahoma to beat Minnesota anytime. So that being said, everybody, I'm yours truly, chilling with the Devin-Vlogs, man, and I will see you for the next video. Bye-bye, everybody, and goodbye, Lakers. Enjoy Cancun while you still can. Yeah, bye-bye, LeBron James. Well, bye-bye to that. Or should I say, bye, LeBron James. Anyway, that's all I wanted to say right now, and thank you all guys again for watching, and I'll see you guys, as always, in the next video. Chill with the Devin-Vlogs, man. Sign off.